Hello, everyone. My name is Wei. First, thank you all for coming to this presentation. I'm glad to share our research in this conference. So today's topic is drone-induced distraction on construction sites, a quantitative analysis of drone flight configurations. So drones are a popular tool in nowadays in the construction project, since the drone have a powerful ability to provide an efficient way, for example, for the progress monitoring or the safety monitoring. Although there's a lot of different kinds of benefits from the drones, when introducing the drone, we have to carefully consider not only the good part of the drone, but also the downside of the drone. So this presentation or research will mainly focus on the downside of the drone. Study shows that the presence of drone might cause distraction to the construction worker working at heights. So what kind of construction worker will working at heights? Is the worker working at high elevated platform, as you can see in the figure in the slides. These two workers are captured by the drone flying by. So these two workers are looking at the drone, definitely be distracted by the drone. They need to take around 25 minutes to fully focus back on their job. During that time, they are vulnerable to hazard factors in this high-risk environment. Another job that in construction site also working 8 hours a day at height, which is the crane operator. Tall crane operator encounter multiple distractions that may disrupt their concentration, which they need the most because they happen to be highly concentrated to perform their work to concentrate it on their payload to make sure the payload is steady, not hitting the buildings, not hitting the machine materials, or even workers. Another study also shows that 65 out of 100 subjects reported to be easily distracted after working overtime. That means when a tower crane operator is fatigued, they are more easily to be distracted. So the distraction issues is really happening in the construction site. But why this distraction is so important? Because distraction was found the largest single cause for falls, slips, and trips. They will cause the worker working at heights, causing injuries or even fatalities. As for the tower crane operator, distraction is a common cause of 19% tower crane incidents. And this incidents including near miss and also the actual serious incidents. None of those we want to be happen inside the construction project or construction sites. So that's the motivation we want to investigate distraction. And also in the trend of there's a lot of drones will be applied inside the construction site. So the drone distraction problem will become as interesting issues to be investigated. So our objective is to investigate the relation between drone flying configurations and the construction workers' distraction in a quantitative perspective. Then we form our research question by two. The first step is to identify whether the presence of drone will distract construction workers. And the second is how the flying configuration of drone impact on construction workers. In our research, we have two different experiments. The first one is construction worker moving materials at heights. As you can see the figure on the lower left, we have finished this experiment already. We can powerful and valid conclusion by this experiment, and we're now moving forward on the second experiment, which is still ongoing work, and that is the tower crane operator moving material scenario. We still have some finding we want to share in this presentation. So in our methodology overview over here, we have 4 steps. The first step is to design the experiment task, and the second is to design the independent and dependent variables. And the third is to conduct the experiment by using repeat measure design to collect more powerful data to be analysis. And we use ANOVA type 3 analysis to analyze those data to have our conclusion. In this presentation, we'll mainly focus on the first two, since I would think this two is the most important part, the most critical part in our research. So as for the experimental design, and on the left side is the first experiment, which is the construction worker moving material at heights. We designed the test as the test participant will move the material from the original point to the destination point by following the yellow line over here. During that time, there will be drone intervention in different flying configurations. As for the tower crane operators, we reference the exam that all the new tower crane operator need to take to get the certificate. In that exam, it has a task that's called certified crane operator practical task. Simply, they are moving the material or the payload from one point to another by following this zigzag route, as you can see on the right side, by not hitting the boundary. As for the independent variable, which means that what kind of drone flying configuration we want to investigate. For the first experiment, we're including different drone flying heights and different drone flying directions. As for the tower crane operator, we investigate in the range, the distance to the tower crane operator and the heights of the drone flying heights. As for the dependent variable, is the metrics to evaluate the performance or safety risk of the test participants. We mainly focus on visual attention because we think visual attention is the most important part to perform good in the construction site or to perform safely in the construction site. So we have the fixation time as our metrics or as our dependent variables. Fixation time can divide it into two, which is the fixation time on text-relevant areas or destruction areas. For a text-relevant area, for example, when the worker is working on the roof, moving the materials, they have to concentrate it on the danger area to make sure they are not falling to those danger areas, like openings or like edges. So they have to pay their visual attention on those danger areas. As same as the tower crane operator, they have to focus on their payload to make it steady. And the opposite side is the distraction area. We want to investigate how much visual attention they spend on the sky to search the drone or the drone itself. As for text performance, this is only for the tower crane operator. The number of knocking balls will be represented as how much times they collide with the boundaries, and the trajectory Hausdorff deviation, as you can see on the right side, the red line is the actual movement of the payload, and how much is the red line deviate from the green line, which is the predefined route in our task. As for the instrument, we use virtual reality. We use Unity to develop virtual scene and use MetaQuest Pro VR headset goggle to allow the test participant to immerse themselves inside this virtual environment. And we want to be more realistic to the real condition in the construction site. We also include the device called Catwalk C2 Plus, which is a omnidirectional treadmill, which allow the test participant to physically walk inside the virtual environment. And for the tower crane operator scenario, we used two joysticks to simulate the control mechanism of tower crane operator. Here's two demo to show the idea how the test participants are doing in our task. On the left side is the construction worker moving material on the roof. So they are walking on the treadmill toward from the original point to the end point. And during that time, there will be drone intervention on the sky. So this test participant was looking at the sky, which was distracted. And the second is the tower crane operator using joystick on the desk, as you can see on the lower right, moving the material following this green envelope route. During that time, they will have drone intervention. And we try to use this experiment to investigate their attention and performance. As for the preliminary results, as I said, one of the experiment is already finished and another is still ongoing work. So for the one that is finished, they will have valid evidence to show the conclusion. But for the ongoing work, we have limited participants to show a strong conclusion. But in these two experiments, we found a common result, which is the fixation time on test relevant area increase when there's no drone intervention. As for the second result, all the result over here, it's conclude from the first experiment, which have the valid test participant number. The fixation time on text relevant area increase when the drone is further away. And the second is fixation time on destruction area increase when the drone flies from the front. When the drone flies from the front, they will have not only the auditory destruction, but also the visual destruction. When the drone flies from behind the test participants, they will only have auditory destruction. So when the fixation time on destruction area increase when the drone flying from the front, that means the destruction or visual destruction will cause more destruction when they flying from the drone flying from the front. Then the last result is concluding from the second experiment, which only we can say that the performance tend to be better when there's no drone intervention. So in conclusions, participants focus more on text relevant area without drone presence, and the participant maintain better focus when the drone was further away. And the third is performance improve when there's no drone intervention. However, there's no conclusive evidence yet on drone destruction impact on tower crane operator, but we do have strong and valid evidence shows that the drone will distract the construction worker working at heights moving materials, causing performance issues or safety issues. So in the future works, we will mainly focus on the tower crane operator experiments. We'll include more additional metrics to have more comprehensive operator performance and safety risk. Also, we increase the participant count to improve our reliability on our conclusion or results. Last but not least, we want to thank the NIOSH and also Mortensen Company. Especially for the Mortensen Company, we discussed a lot of things when we designed the experiments. Not only the experiment itself, but also the virtual environment development to make sure our entire experiment is close to the reality. Also, they provide the construction worker as our test participant to make our results more valid and solid. And here's a reference Thank you all for listening and thank you all for the attention. I'm happy to answer any questions.